I come across these stupid online surveys all the time, and I've shared some of them here on YouTube. In the overwhelming majority of these surveys, there's a very fundamental built-in bias where the survey writers are trying to herd as many people as possible into their preferred category to confirm that, yes, most people are whatever they're trying to promote, and this is no exception. So I came across a survey called, "Are You a Naturalistic Pantheist?" and I just had to take it. It's a short 14 questions with very biased answers and a slider that you can use to say how important this question is to you. Now, I'm not a theist of any kind. I'm a very strong atheist. There's no reason whatsoever to think that there are any gods of any kind in any place, including nature. Gods are a ridiculous idea, unsupported by any objective evidence, and anyone who worships nature is just as foolish as someone who worships imaginary friends in the sky. Worship of any kind is moronic. But before we get started, I wanted to define naturalistic pantheism. According to Wikipedia, naturalistic pantheism identifies God or divinity with concrete things, determinism, or the substance of the universe. God, from these perspectives, is seen as the aggregate of all unified natural phenomena. Now that's a stupid concept if you ask me. We already have a perfectly good word for nature, and that's nature. There's no reason to think that gods exist at all, and looking at the natural world as evidence of gods is idiotic. I mean, we laugh at theists who say, "Look at the trees," when asked about proof of gods. Why should this be any different? But this survey clearly wants to put people into that camp and ask some really leading questions because of it. I do want to apologize ahead of time if some of the screenshots aren't clear. I did have to blow them up considerably. I'm sorry. There is a link in the description if you want to see the survey for yourself or go take it, so I encourage you to do so. And therefore, without further ado, let's begin. The first question, do I believe in miracles? Well, no. Not if you define miracles as something that violates the laws of nature with a supernatural cause. I don't accept that at all, and it's very important to me to hold that position. There is no evidence whatsoever for the supernatural, and thus, no reason to accept that miracles actually happen. Let's move on. Obviously, someone here either doesn't speak English as their native language or just didn't bother to proofread, but I'll fill in the missing pieces. Do you believe in a god, gods, or some other spiritual force that began the universe and or exists beyond as well as within the universe? That's a mouthful, isn't it? But no, I do not. There is no evidence that any such thing actually exists, thus I'm not going to believe. Again, this is very important because I actually care about reality. There's no reason to think that spirits exist at all. If you want me to believe, present objective evidence supporting your contention. If you can't do that, you're out of luck. Do you believe that a certain text or texts, such as the Bible, the Quran, and others, are divinely inspired? Well, since there's no reason to believe in the divine, no. Are there people out there who do? Sure. Do I think they're wrong? Hell yes. All of these books were written by primitive men who thought they had it all figured out, yet didn't even know the basics about the natural world. Do you believe that religion should be based on reason and experience rather than authority? Now this is where I start noticing the bias in the survey. I don't think religion ought to exist at all. I think religion ought to go away. It's a remnant of a more primitive time in human history. We really don't need it anymore. We already have something based on reason and experience, and it's called science. Let's have that. Get rid of religion once and for all. But since I have to answer, and it's not like I'm not sure, I said yes. It's not really the answer I want to give, though. Do you enjoy, or might you enjoy, organized gatherings, rituals, or celebrations on a regular basis? Again, this is an irrelevant question. Do I enjoy organized gatherings? Sure, I guess. But not rituals, not celebrations, and certainly not anything having to do with religion. I know that's what they mean, so I had to say no. But I didn't say strongly disagree because, of course, I think everybody enjoys getting together with friends and family on a regular basis. They're trying to get you to a goal. Keep that in mind. Are you in awe of the forces of nature? No, I'm not. Now, I do think that nature is a pretty incredible place. Yeah, I will agree with that. Do I think nature is pretty amazing in its complexity? Sure, absolutely. Am I in awe of it? No, not a bit. I'm actually pretty indifferent towards it. I mean, yeah, I enjoy it for what it is, but I don't just sit around and ponder the wonders of nature all day and night. I like nature. I enjoy learning about how nature works, but I don't engage in any kind of nature worship or reverence whatsoever. Do you enjoy or might you enjoy meditation? Well, if you mean religious meditation, no, not a bit. If you mean self-reflection, sure, a bit of that is fine, but I'm not going to sit around in a yoga pose doing That's just stupid. Do you believe in karma, which he defines as positive or negative actions that will inevitably come back to help or harm you on a personal level or in a future life? No chance in hell. That's just idiotic. There are no future lives. You're born, you live, and you die. That's it. The only way that things affect you are as consequences of your actions. If you treat someone badly, they may treat you badly in return. You reap what you sow, not on a metaphysical level, but in reality. So this is just another stupid question that has nothing to do with anything. Do you believe that human beings are capable of being good to one another and living together peacefully? Well, yeah, of course they are. But this has nothing whatsoever to do with the supernatural. It has nothing to do with nature. It has to do with society. A successful society is one in which its members can live together peacefully to form a cohesive whole. This question says nothing about naturalistic pantheism whatsoever. I find the idea that after we die, our physical bodies will be recycled back into nature while our descendants and accomplishments live on. In other words, we die, our bodies rot, and the things we've left behind will be remembered and carried on by our children. Yes. I don't know that it's necessarily comforting because comfort has nothing to do with reality. It just is. But I can't just say yes to the question. Even though it is just a yes or no question in reality, how I feel about the state of reality really doesn't make a bit of difference. I agree with the following statements. All right, let's see. I think that it's better to be sure to treat others with fairness and kindness than to behave only out of self-interest. Okay, I agree with that. It's a central precept of human society. We are inherently social creatures. We rely on others to survive. Enlightened self-interest tells us to treat others as we'd want to be treated and act as we'd want others to act. So okay, I'm good with that one. Moving on. I think the world would be a better place if people thought about religion more rationally. Well, I agree, because if people thought about religion rationally, there would be no more religion. But I can only pick one of these choices. So far, I'm sticking with the first one. Third, I think the world would be a better place if people's religious beliefs led them to respect the environment. I don't give a shit about people's religious beliefs. Should people respect the environment? Sure. Should their imaginary friends in the sky have anything to do with it? No, that's a stupid statement. Finally, I believe that people have basic human rights that should be respected. Well, yeah, I can agree with that. Society decides what rights people have, and as such, we should respect that decision. But that's part of the first statement above as well. If we treat others with fairness and kindness, we're automatically respecting their socially granted rights. So I'm going to stay with my first choice. That said, though, if it says, I agree with the following statements and you can only pick one, that's not what you asked. Do you believe in crystals, talismans, or magic spells that can alter the course of nature or fate in a desirable way if used properly? No. No, I don't believe in woo, full stop. Crystals, talismans, and spells are idiotic. The New Age bullshit is bullshit. There is no demonstrably real-world effect to such things. It's confirmation bias and the placebo effect. Don't be stupid. Do you enjoy nature photography, examining natural objects, natural history, walking and hiking outdoors, gardening, or stargazing? Sure. But it has nothing to do with any religion. It has to do with being part of reality. I can't keep it separated from my religion because I have no religion to keep it separated from. These questions are just stupid. I know I keep saying this, but it's true. This has nothing to do with anything. They're just trying to herd people into, wow, you revere nature, therefore you're a naturalistic pantheist. No, I'm fucking alive. Do you like to maintain an awareness of the weather, the passage of the seasons, the phases of the moon, or other aspects of your natural surroundings? Honestly, how can you not do these things? I have to be aware of the weather so I know what to wear. This is another really stupid question. So given the abject stupidity of this thing, how do you think I did? There's a spot where I get to guess, and I guessed secular humanist even though I don't identify that way. But, surprise, surprise, I got naturalistic pantheist. Of course I did. 100% naturalistic pantheist. How the hell can that be true of someone who doesn't believe in any gods, doesn't think any woo exists, and doesn't really give a shit about nature? Oh wait, yeah, it's a cooked survey. That's how. I went through and tried a couple times, and I couldn't get secular humanists to come out on top. I'm sure there's a way, but I always got some form of pantheist no matter what I picked. It's kind of sad because there's no possible way to twist my personal views where I actually come out as a pantheist. I'm not a pantheist. I'm not a theist. I'm an atheist. You're just fucked up. So what do you think? Go ahead, take the quick survey, and tell me what you got in the comments below. Why are there so many survey makers out there who are just so absurdly biased in their surveys? Why do they try so hard to make it look like most people share their personal views? The more of these I take, the more subtle and sometimes not so subtle bias I find in the way the questions are put together. They're not looking for truth, they're looking for confirmation. And that, from where I'm sitting, is just sad.